Okay, so welcome everyone. Um, just to recap on the props, so grab your tune-up balls, the ones in the tote. You just need these ones. 2 blocks, your bolster, and a blanket. And let's get started. So the first pose we're coming into is a reclined butterfly over the bolster. So find your bolster and put your blanket at the top of the bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, you can either use a couple of cushions or just lay on your back with something under your head and without the bolster. So that's okay. You don't need to use it. And bring your tailbone right to the short edge of your bolster. Draw your feet in towards the body. And we'll just lay down. So just allow your spine to come down over the bolster or onto the floor if you're not using a bolster. Draw the shoulders down away from your ears. Let the arms rest on the floor. And if your low back feels like it wants a little bit of a lengthening, you can lift your hips up, send the tailbone towards the bottom of your mat, then release your hips down to lengthen your low back. Close your eyes and go within and start to reconnect with your inner self and reconnect with your body. Take a moment and just scan the body and notice where you feel any tension or sensation. And this can be physical sensation or energetic sensation. Start to feel your muscles softening. Feel your whole body relaxing. Make sure the back of your neck stays long, so let the chin be a little lower than your forehead. Bring your awareness to your breath. And just notice where you feel the breath in your body. Relaxing the face, relax the jaw, relax your neck and your shoulders. Soften your belly, soften your inner thighs. And feel the support of your bolster beneath you, feel the support of the earth beneath you, and allow the body to be supported. Use your props, they're there to support you. All you need to do is relax over top of them, or relax into the floor. And notice the openness of this shape. Feeling an openness across your pelvis, your abdomen, your heart. And tuning into this energy of openness, let's also connect with each other, connecting with everyone participating in the class in this moment. You feel your connection to the outside world and everyone going through the same challenge or similar challenge, same shared challenge. And just allow your heart to connect with humanity at this time. And feel yourself connecting to the universe. And your higher self. Feel your low belly rise on your inhales and soften on your exhales. If for whatever reason this shape bothers your hips or your knees, you can always bring the knees together and straighten the legs. Take one more moment and settle in completely. Settle into the space that you're in. Settle into your mat and drop right down into your body to your still point, to your center. A nice deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and let it out with a sigh. And two more, just like that. We'll start to transition back into a seated position. So moving slowly and mindfully, begin by just bringing the knees together. And tuck your chin into your chest. You can even use your hand to just take the weight of your head off the pillow. Slowly start to press yourself back up and just take a breath at the top. Roll the shoulders up and back and down a few times. Okay. So we'll find our tune-up balls and we'll connect with our subscapularis. So connect with the muscle behind the scapula, getting into our shoulder blades. So you can take one ball out of its tote. And we're going to place the ball anywhere on the scapula. So you'll lay down and pop the ball anywhere underneath your shoulder blade. Probably a good spot is where it feels a little bit sore, because then you know that's a spot that needs some release. So there's probably quite a few spots you could target. So we'll just begin. We'll do two on this side and two on the other side. So find a good juicy spot and take 3 abdominal breaths. If this is too intense, you can also do this at the wall. So just stand up, place the ball between your body and the wall, and then just add as much pressure as you like. For a little bit more intensity, you can lift the hips off the floor. If that's too much, just lower the hips down. Or you can slide a block underneath your hips. Lift the hips if you're doing that, and take a couple more breaths here. And then we'll start to introduce some arm movements. So we'll take the arm and just reach it up above the head and then back down alongside the body. And do this a couple more times. Pinning the ball between your body and the floor, and then stretching the muscle over top of the ball. Okay, good. And now let's open the arm out to the side and then reach the arm across the body. So more pinning and stretching, just in a different direction. Just cross fibering the muscle. Bringing mobility and openness to your shoulders. Okay, and then you can start to do some circles with your elbow and just explore different sizes of circle. You can do nice big ones, you can do smaller ones, medium-sized ones. Good, and then reverse the direction. Good, and then just make any movements you like with your arm. So just like your arm is a piece of seaweed flowing through water, and just explore every possible direction. Okay, good. So lower the hips, and then you can move we're going to move the ball to a different spot. I like to move it higher. So I'm going to slide my body down the mat and find a spot just below the top of my shoulder. And lift the hips and just let the ball penetrate these muscles. This is the supraspinatus that we're targeting here. And these muscles also get really tight. These are the muscles that we always want massaged by someone else. And let's introduce those same arm movements. Feel free to do different arm movements if you like. These are just suggestions. And then move the arm out to the side in a T shape, and then all the way across the body and out to the side again, across the body. Good. And then some circles with your elbow. And just being mindful, if you hear any clicking in the shoulder, just change the size of the circle. And okie doke. Lower the hips. Take the ball out and rest on your back for a moment. Take some deep breaths. So breathe in through the nose. Exhale it all through the mouth. And again, inhale and release. Okay, let's do the other side. So you can take the same ball and just pop it underneath the other side and take a few breaths here. Deep abdominal breaths and allowing the back muscles to get used to the ball being here, waiting for some release, waiting for the muscles to accept the ball, to soften a little bit. And then you can lift the hips if that's not too much. If it is, just lower the hips. Take a couple more breaths. And introduce your arm movements. Raising the arm above the head and then down alongside the body. And keep going. And reaching the arm out to the side in a T shape, moving the arm across the body and out and across. And then circles with the elbow. Circles the other way. And then you can just move your arm organically in every direction. Okay, lower the hips and then move the ball 1 inch higher, lower, to the side, whichever direction feels good for you. So I'm going to do the same on this side and just move the ball a little higher. Lift your hips. Take a few breaths. Introduce your arm movements. Side to side. And then circles with your elbow. Circles the other way. Good, and then some random free movement of your arm. Just let your arm dance around a little bit, get creative. Okay, lower the hips. Take your ball out and take a breather. Nice deep breath in. Big breath out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. So you can find your tote and just pop the ball back into the tote. And let's flip over onto the belly and we'll come into Sphinx pose. So line your shoulders up underneath, or your elbows rather, underneath your shoulders. Have your feet about hip distance apart. You can always move the elbows a little further forward if this feels like even too much of a back bend here. And relax your legs. Relax the glutes. Feel the pelvis heavy and the belly soft. And make sure you're not slumping down between the shoulders. So puff up between the shoulders like you're pressing your heart up between the shoulder blades. Find a comfortable position for your head and your neck. If you want some extra stretch for the neck, the base of the skull, the upper shoulders. You can tuck your chin in towards your chest. Just make sure, again, you're not slumping between the shoulders. So press the floor away from you. Connect with your breath. And feel the breath in your belly. Feeling your belly inflate like a balloon. And feel your kidneys inflating like a balloon as well. Breathing space and energy and chi down into the lumbar spine and the kidney area. And as you exhale, feel the kidneys softening and relaxing. Relax your face. Relax your jaw. Know that you can move your head and neck into a different position at any time, as often as you like. Maybe even looking over one shoulder, looking over the other shoulder. Just doing that a couple of times. If you want to come deeper into the pose, you can either separate the hands and lift the elbows off the floor, coming into seal. If this is too much, and you want middle ground, separate the knees and the feet, lift the feet off the floor, and join the big toes. But feel free to stay with your legs on the floor in your original position if it is enough of a back bend for you. Focusing on your breath, moving up and down your spine. So moving the breath down the spine on your inhales, back up the spine on your exhales. Let's take 3 more breaths. If your shins are up, you can release them to the floor. If your elbows are up, slowly bring your elbows down and then come all the way down. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on your hands and relax here. Take some deep breaths and feel your body relaxing and melting into the floor. Move your hips a little wobble from side to side. Draw your right knee up along the floor towards your hip and look towards your knee. Bring your leg back. And let's press back slowly and carefully into child's pose. Bring the hands under the heads of the shoulders. Press up. Bring your knees together. Bring the big toes together. And slowly come forward. If you need a block under your head, have a block handy. And release your whole spine. Come into full flexion of your spine. And let the arms come alongside the body. Palms facing up. Releasing between the shoulder blades. Releasing your low back. And breathe. Rock from side to side, just gently. Bring the hands under the heads of your shoulders. Start to press the floor away from you. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Slowly uncurl your spine. And take a breath at the top. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Okay. So we'll come into a version of thread the needle with the arms. And so I'll just demonstrate. So I'm going to use this blanket for my head. You might not need it. I would put a blanket there or a block to start. And I'll just demonstrate first. So come into your tabletop position and then extend the right leg out to the side. And we'll take the left arm, so opposite arm to leg, and thread it behind. So left arm is coming behind the right wrist. And so we've done this before as thread the needle, but this time we just have the leg out to the side. If for whatever reason having the leg out to the side doesn't work in your body, just keep the knees right underneath the hips and same pose with the legs underneath you. But if you like, you can try this. You'll feel a little bit more of a stretch through the inner right thigh. Reach the arm up if you like, and then bring the arm behind the back, maybe catching your inner left thigh. But always know that you can keep your hand resting on the floor and breathe here. Relax your face and your jaw and focus on your breathing. Let's take 3 more breaths. If your arm is behind your back, slowly release the arm. Press the right hand into the floor. Slowly start to unwind. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows here. So hands are right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, send the sit bones up, squeeze between the shoulder blades, drop the belly button towards the floor. Exhale, belly button rises, tailbone drops, crown of the head drops, spread between the shoulder blades. Inhale, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Exhale, spread the shoulder blades. And one more round. And come back to your neutral spine. And we'll do the other side. So grab your block or your blanket for your head. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Send the left foot out to the side. And bring your right hand behind your left wrist. And come down either to the floor or onto your blanket or your block. So feeling a stretch through the back of the right shoulder this time. Feeling a twist in the thoracic spine, the upper back. Maybe reaching the left fingertips to the sky and bringing the hand behind the back, catching the inner right thigh. And again, option to keep the left leg directly underneath the hip if the extended leg doesn't work for you today. Breathing in and out through the nose. And keep your face soft, your breath even and natural. Release the back arm slowly. Bring the left hand back to the floor. Press into the floor. Unwind your spine. Return the leg back to center. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Inhaling, sending the tailbone high. Look up. Exhale. And around your spine. Inhale into cow pose. Exhale into cat pose. Inhale. Exhale. Walk the knees back and space a little bit. Walk the hands forward. Keep your hips right over top of your knees, and we'll come into melting heart. So you can also use a block. You can use a block under your sternum, under your breastbone. That helps. That support helps you. You can also use the block underneath your head. You can also do this one hand at a time. So bend one arm and rest your forehead on your forearm. With every exhale, feel the heart moving closer towards your mat. If you have the extension in your spine, you can rest your chin on your mat, but only if you're ready. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And very slowly start to walk the hands back in towards your knees and take a moment and just rest in child's pose. Take a few breaths. Bring the hands under the heads of your shoulders. Press the floor away, tuck the chin in. Unfurl the spine. And take a big breath at the top. Roll the shoulders back. Okay, so let's come into half saddle and stretch our quads. So if you've got a bolster, get your bolster. And some of you will probably need to come up onto 1 block or even 2 blocks. So the block goes underneath your hips, so sit down on the block. If you're using 2 blocks, tuck 2 blocks underneath your hips. And let's step the left foot forward. So we'll stretch the right thigh first. So make sure that your knee feels safe and start to walk the hands back. If you don't have a bolster, just walk the hands onto the floor. If you have a bolster, you can start by leaning your forearms down, and if you don't feel enough of a stretch in your quad, you can just turn the bolster so that it's lengthways. Use something at the top for your head if you like, for some extra comfort, and lean back. Adjust the pillow, and the arms can rest at your side. Or you can have the arms above the head, catching opposite elbows. And so the alternative to this pose is you can either stand up and use the wall as a balance and hold your leg like this, or you can lay on your belly rest your head on your left forearm and bend the left knee and catch your foot or your ankle and stretch the right thigh. Breathing into your right quadricep and into your right hip flexors. and into the lumbar spine. You may feel a little bit of a back bend in the low back. Relax your face and your shoulders. Take 3 more breaths. We'll slowly start to come back up. If you're on the floor and you're able to switch legs where you are, you can try doing that. Otherwise, slowly start to come back up. So make your way up. Release the right knee. Give it a little pump to release it. And we'll just move straight over to the other side. So this time the right leg stays in front and the left foot comes back, heel around the block, and then lean back until you feel a stretch in your left quad. Making any modifications you need to make to this pose so that you feel safe, that your body is safe, especially your left knee. So using more blocks underneath your hips if your knee is bothering you, so that there's less flexion in the knee. Arms can come above the head for more of a stretch through the upper body. Flexing the shoulders, stretching the intercostal muscles, and breathe. Take 3 more breaths. Release the elbows if their arms are above the head. Use one hand under your head and tuck your chin in towards your chest. And then grab onto your mat or press into the floor. Slowly, carefully make your way back up. Release the back leg, give it a little pump. Releasing the knee. and hug your knees in towards your chest and just give yourself a hug. Okay, so come up off your block, move your bolster out of the way. You might need your blanket to sit up on top of for this next pose. So if you need some height to keep your spine straight, sit up on your blanket. And let's open the legs out to the side into dragonfly. So make sure your pelvis is tipping forward and you've got a curve in your lumbar spine. And just relax the legs, relax your feet. And take a nice big breath into your spine. And then exhale, walk the hands forward. And when you start to feel enough of a pull in your inner thighs, you can start to round the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Maybe using a block underneath your head. Just feeling a nice stretch through the back, the whole back, and the inner thighs. Relaxing your face, relax your jaw. Notice if you're holding any tension in your upper back and just relax the shoulders, relax the arms. Maybe lower your block a level and release the head a little lower. If that's too far, just come back to your original height. Relaxing the legs. Relax your whole face. Maybe coming a little lower on your block. Maybe not. Let's take 3 more breaths. Turn the palms to face down. Slowly start to uncurl, walking the hands slowly back and towards the body. And release the knees one at a time. And just give your legs a little shake. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself another hug. And let's make our way down onto our mat. So lay down on your back. Have a block handy at your side. Lay down and have the knees bent and slide your block underneath your sacrum. We'll just take supported bridge for a moment or two. And so option 2, stay here with your knees bent. If you feel like extending the legs, you can extend the legs. But if you prefer, you can just have the legs bent and take a more restorative version of the pose. So this pose, if the knees are bent, it's not stretching anything, it's more supportive and allowing your brain to cool, become calmer. Not too long in this pose. Let's take 3 more breaths. If your legs are straight, you can bend one knee, place the foot on the floor, bend the other knee, place the foot on the floor. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, slide the block out to the right, and just relax for a few breaths. Let's find a twist in our spine. Bend the knees. Have a block to your side on your right side or a bolster. Lift your hips, slide your hips over to the left. And let's cross the left leg right over top of the right leg and let the legs come over to the right. So you want your left shoulder to aim for the floor. So reach through the left fingertips, guiding the left shoulder towards the floor. Adjust your block so that it's comfortable and supportive underneath your leg. And then extend the other arm out to the side and breathe here. If this version of a supine twist is too much for your back, can be a little intense, uncross the legs and stack the knees, stack the feet. So your choice, stacked legs or twisted roots version of your supine twist. Take your breath towards sensation. So wherever you feel this in your body the most, breathe breath and life energy, chi, into those areas that feel a little tense, a little more rigid. Relax your heart, relax the belly, and relax your legs, your feet. And maybe you don't want a prop under the legs, that's fine as well. You can just let the legs hang in space or drop down towards the floor. The props are here for your comfort, so just use them as needed. Just keep relaxing the body. Tension always tends to creep back in. Relaxing the whole body. Letting go. One more breath. On your next inhale, carefully uncross your legs. Slowly bring the knees back to center. And we'll stretch out the spine by reaching the arms above the head. Reach through the heels. Give your whole body a nice long stretch. And release. So just feel the rebound for a moment. Take a few breaths. And let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Release the low back. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Massaging out your low back. And we'll do the other side. So bring your feet back down to the floor. Lift your hips. Move your hips over to the right. Cross your right leg over your left. Move your block over to the left side if you haven't already. And guide your knees over to the left, sliding your block underneath your legs or your bolster, and moving your arms into your preferred position. You can have them in a cactus shape or a T shape. An option to turn the head to look away from the knees if you like. And settle into the shape. And focus on your breath. Relaxing your feet. Relax the lower legs, the knees, the inner thighs. Relax the whole lower body. Relax your hips, your spine. Hold front side of your body, your belly, your chest, your jaw, between the eyebrows. Every exhale, let the body soften a little bit more. Take 3 more breaths. Carefully and slowly start to uncross your legs. Slowly bring the knees back to center, hips back. Stretch your body long. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Make any movements that feel good, making some circles one way, the other way. And taking any other pose that your body wants to take in this moment. Maybe that's stretching the feet to the sky. Maybe that's taking happy baby just for a couple of breaths. Just listening to your body, making any other movements that you need to make before we take Shavasana. So find what you need for your final resting pose. Maybe find another layer so that you're warm. Put on some socks if you've got any. Use your bolster underneath the thigh side of your knees. Use your folded blanket for under your head, or unfold your blanket and lay it over top of you for some extra coziness. And make yourself as comfortable as possible. Lift the hips and anchor the tailbone down towards the bottom of your mat to lengthen the low back. Slide your shoulders down, away from the ears. Back of the neck is long. Knees and feet roll away from each other. Take a deep breath in, let it all go. One more inhale. And release. Let the arms be away from the body. Let go of your practice. Allow your body this time to recuperate, to recover from the long, deep stretches. Feel your eyes falling back into their sockets. Relax all the muscles around the eyes. Allow your lips to part slightly. And let the tongue rest behind the bottom teeth. Relax your inner ears, your outer ears. Relax the skin on your forehead. Relax your scalp, sides of the head, back of the head. Relax your neck, your shoulders, arms, hands, fingers and thumbs. Relax your heart space, your abdomen, and low belly. Relax your upper back, mid back, low back. Relax your hips, your glutes. Relax the thighs, the knees, the low legs, ankles, feet, and all your toes. Surrender your body to the earth and let go completely. Slowly start to deepen your breathing, gently waking the body up. Imagining the room around you, the light, colors, the shapes. Bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Gently rock your head from side to side. Rotate your wrists and your ankles a few times one way, a few times the other way. Bend the knees. Place your feet on your bolster and push the bolster away from you. Reach the arms above your head. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Then on your exhale, bend the knees, roll over onto one side, and just pause here. Take a couple of breaths. Slowly press into your hand and make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Sit up on some height to keep your spine long. So a block or a cushion. Feel your sit bones rooting down into whatever you're seated on. Rest the hands on your thighs comfortably. Lift up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Take a moment to notice the effects of your practice. Notice how you feel in your body on all levels. Body, mind, spirit. Let's rub the hands together briskly. Generating some heat between the palms. Once your palms are warmed up, cup your palms over your eyes. And release the hands down the face, the neck, to your heart. Lift your heart up. Bow your head to your heart. Maintaining this connection to your body, to your breath, to your spirit. Maintaining your connection to your higher self, to the universe, to the whole world. And sending lots of love and light out into the world. Lots of healing light. Thank you everyone for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.